Guess what? It's a Saturday, and I'm your host, Jesse Jackson Kauraitha, bringing you live, that is from the NMH studios, the latest sports results and events that took place today. I'll accompany you for the next 30 minutes or so in what we will give you the latest updates in terms of sports news. First of all, we started, that is at the Independence Stadium. It was indeed an electric atmosphere where competitors gave their all as they tested their mettle in the National School Sports Union Athletics Championship there. A number of regions and athletes competing for top honors there. We start off, that is, with Kaylin Mayer, who finished second in the 400-meter races. She was indeed proud of herself.
I'm Kaylin Mayers. I competed in the 400 meters and I came second.
Came second, indeed. A wonderful race from you there. I saw it. So how do you feel about it?
I could have done better, but it was two races, semi-finals and finals, so it was hard.
Yeah, it was hard. Yes, preparing towards this event, how were the preparations, and did you expect that you were going to be among the podium finishers?
Yes, I expected at least the top three. Regionals I also competed against this girl, but she's really fast and very good.
All right, maybe in the future you can come through to her, definitely. So what's next for you?
Next I'm doing high jump.
All right. In terms of the future, where do you want to be?
I really want to go to the Olympics, so I've made a NAPSU team for the private school, so we're going to Europe.
All right, and congratulations on the second place. You know, podium finish, not many could come there.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Well done, Kaylin. There. Hope you can get first place next time. Speaking of first places, Ingo Wilkins was number one in the 300-meter hurdles in his category there, pushing to a strong finish and claiming gold in that one. Let's hear from him. That is by Ingo Wilkins, 300 meters hurdles winner. You can see by his face that it was a fantastic victory and he's proud of himself. But we'll hear from himself. How was the race and how did you feel?
So the race was definitely, it felt very quick. It felt like a 100-meter dash. But I definitely I deserved the first place because of the hard preparation. All my friends, we worked from the beginning of the year till now and from last year. And I just think because we worked so hard, I think we deserve like a great place on the podium. And on the first 100 meters, I felt very behind because the boy in front of me, Nico Hayes, he was very fast, and I thought, oh my goodness, now there goes the race. But then at the curve, I was just thinking, just get my steps in, go over the hurdle nice, and just breathe.
And then it all happened, and congratulations, and I see the future is bright. I hope that you will be able to continue and represent WB at a global stage.
Thank you very much.
Well, also at the event, we caught up with some of the administrators of note, and that was Michael Hamukwaya, who was a coach of one of the teams that competed there. Michael Hamukwaya was proud that the para-athletes were able to be allowed to be part of the NSSU championship this time around. Let's hear from Michael Hamukwaya. I'm joined here, that is by Coach Michael Hamukwaya. I don't think he needs any introduction in the athletic scene. Well, Coach, tell us, you are here at the championship. What is your take, and who did you bring, and how did they perform?
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Jesse, for granting me this interview. Okay, today I'll be doing it another head actually as a Secretary General when I'm doing Paralympic. So this is an exciting moment for us as Paralympic movement, for the first time ever that we ever see, you know, in the games of NSSU, a Paralympic classes or codes involved in this sport called especially athletic. So it's a very, very, very big achievement, and we are so happy that the NSSU, especially the athletic department, and really, coming through and deciding that this time around Paralympic sport have to be an integral part of every Namibian child, which is the way for school, because it doesn't matter your disability or ability, you still attend Namibian school. So we really give our heads off, especially for the coordinator, for really pushing, and for the regions that have accepted the call, which were Commerce, Oshana, and unfortunately Kavango couldn't come through because of other logistic and other things that still need to be worked on towards improving this participation of children or Paralympian athletes. So for us, it's already just having these kids being part of this inaugural NSSU game, athletic game. We are just happy, and we are just looking forward to improving this, because as we say, we are not only talking about athletic, we are also talking about other ball games. So from here on, we can see that NSSU is really willing to actually have us as part of their family as we are going forward, so that at least we can be part of their different part of the game. So we're looking forward for their ball game, and we hope within those great ball game we can introduce goalball and blind football, which is mainly played by our youth in the different regions. So it's an exciting moment.
Thank you so much. That was Michael Hamukwaya speaking highly of the organizers and making sure that things were done thoroughly. Speaking of things that were done thoroughly at the event, it is current race director of Namibian Athletics, but today he was part of the technical team that was assessing the event. Bethel Karumendu, let's hear his task there. I'm joined, that is, with a technical delegate here at the championship. It is Mr. Bethel Karumendu, also known always as a race director, but today he's having a different task. So tell me, in terms of technicalities, how has it gone?
Yeah, thank you very much, JC. You know what, when it comes to the awarding technical delegate, it's a world high-class award when somebody is being sent to see the smooth organization of the competition. So I liaise with the committee responsible for school sports, for athletics, see that all according to plan, the organization of the event, and the event is according to the rules and regulations. All technical equipments are in place, all technical needs for the competition are in place, and liaise with them and help them with the organization and plan and preparation of the event. And you can see when we plan, when we prepare the presentation of the event, you see yourself is another caliber, it's given another color. So all those things are assigned to me. But it's an honor due to experience and expertise that people are giving me that honor. And I'm sharing that with the rest of the Namibian technical officials and Namibian nation, especially the committee for Namibian School Sports Union Athletics Committee.
Thank you so much. That was race director Bethel Karumendu speaking highly of the event. Different things happened at the NFA Technical Center there. It was a top of the table clash between Ongos FC and African Stars Queen. Both teams have been doing it all this season in the FNB Women's Premiership. They have definitely been outdoing each other, trying to get the maximum points. However, Ongos FC today went on top following a 3-1 victory over their arch rivals, African Stars Queens, formerly known as Ongo Diva Queens. We have some interviews from both coaches. Coach, a good victory for your team there, hard-fought one. What did you make of the match?
Well, in all honesty, coming into this game, we knew what we were up against. I think the game speaks for itself. We had an opening 0-0 draw against them in the north, and we just had to capitalize because, I mean, we've been playing Tom and Jerry since the league began. So I think it's about time that we stepped up and really impressed based on how much work we put in. But otherwise, a very good game, very physical. The pace was quite fast, But we're happy. We're happy. It didn't turn out as we had hoped due to a number of opportunities wasted. But I'm happy that after the halftime break, the girls implemented the instructions quite well.
Thank you so much, Coach. Coach Ango, not a good defeat there to Ongos FC, but a hard-fought one. If definitely your team came out here to try and stop the champions. What did you make of the game?
It was not an easy game. We tried, we fought, but we just didn't get enough chances up front. They were clinical behind here, but they got the set pieces and converted every chance they got. But we gave them a tough game.
Yes, as a team that has been dominating the league for a few years now, do you think that your girls showed that they can definitely challenge the champions?
Yeah, we definitely showed that we are here to challenge for the title. But it's a game of football. You win some, you draw some, you lose some. Unfortunately today, we didn't. They were the better team. They got the 3 points, they got the 3 goals. It was not a bad game.
Thank you so much, Coach. It was indeed a big one there. You can see Coach Shamagire very happy with the result that he got today. Speaking of happy results, we go all the way north up Namibia, where it was indeed an action-packed match between, that is FNB Grootfontein Rugby Club, that played Kudus FC of Walvis Bay in Grootfontein. It was not going to be Grootfontein's day, as the away side came away with a 33-27 victory at that stadium. Let's see some of the highlights.
Welkom by ons hoogtepunte pakket van hierdie NRI Premier Liga wedstryd tussen die tuisspan FNB Grootfontein wat hier so op die veld draf teen FNB Kudus. Ja, so binne die eerste 5 minute Grootfontein wat hulle pak voorspelers daar so aan die maal kry en die kaptein met die rooi skrampet Wikus Jacobs, die haker, wat sy eerste 3 druk in die wedstryd. Die doelskop was tussen die pale deur die nommer 14, Uriel Maree. 7 punte teenoor 0, waarmee Grootfontein die voorsprong geneem het daar so. Daar so vletjie wat reeds geblaas het, maar so 'n bietjie hierso was Grootfontein wat 'n bietjie traag was om terug te val vir hierdie aanval deur Kudus van 'n skop af en Michael Koopman wat daar so in die laaste aangee vir Irongwa Achiwudi oorstuur. Oudspeler van Grootfontein wat nou by Kudus is natuurlik. En dit was die eerste 5 punte vir die span van Walvis Bay gewees. Doelskop nie suksesvol nie deur Michael Koopman en dit was 'n strafskop wat bygevoeg is vir Grootfontein deur Uriel Maree wat hulle telling het aanskuif het na 10 punte teenoor 5. Justin Newman, hy het 'n baie goeie wedstryd gehad op die aanval en op die verdediging vir Kudus. Hierso aangee wat onderskep is deur Wikus Jacobs. Grootfontein wat derentyd op die aanval was. Sterk vertoning gewees deur hulle pak voorspelers in die eerste helfte. Gesag afgedwing en hierso ook Johan Littig wat seker maak dat hulle 'n strafskop en Miles Mudabeti wat hierso gereken het, hy gaan verseker 'n 3 druk. Ongelukkig vir hom Justin Newman wat daar onder hom inbeweeg het om hom weg te hou van die doellyn af. Later die strafskop wat weer binne trefafstand was vir Uriel Maree. 13-5 die telling in daai stadium en toe net voor rustyd Wikus Jacobs wat sy derde 3 gedruk het. Of hy was sy tweede 3 gewees dan. 20 punte teenoor 5. saam met die doelskop van Uriel Maree 20 punte teenoor 5 waarmee Grootfontein dan rustyd voorgeloop het in hierdie wedstryd. Net na rustyd, binne die eerste minuut of 2 na rustyd, Wikus Jacobs wat dan sy derde 3 gaan druk het, ook van lynstaan dryf af, die agtal van Grootfontein wat 'n sterk vertoning gelewer het. Uriel Maree weer 'n keer suksesvol met die doelskop. En dit was dan 27-5. Ja, dit was ongelukkig na hierdie belovende begin. Grootfontein dinge wat vir hulle skeef geloop het. Hierso Lazarus Joseph wat hierso hierdie goeie kans gehad het op die aanval. Hy skop die bal afgestorm deur Lloyd Jacobs. Hy breek weg en hy gee die bal vir die skrimskakel Rayshon Chume wat sy kort aangevat het om die 3 onder die pale te gaan druk. Rayshon Chume wat sommer self ook die doelskop tussen die pale deurgeskop het. 27-12 en Kudus was op pad om terug te kom in hierdie wedstryd. Daar ongelukkige vorentoe aangee, anders was hy weer perrig vir gewees. Rayshon Chume. Hierso Tonderai en Doetsou, plaasvervanger nommer 23 wat daar losbreek uit het lagvat uit om daai 3 te gaan druk vir Kudus. En hulle laat krimp die agterstand tot 27-19 in daardie stadium. Kudus, daar was dit Irongwa Achibudi nommer 14 se tweede 3 van die wedstryd. Grootfontein had so 'n bietjie gekla dat hy laaste aangee dalk vorentoe was. Skeiedsregter Dani Koen, hy was naby aan die aksie gewees. En hierso ja, Tamsin van 'n Berg wat van 'n tikskop af hanteer, Justin Newman wat ook die bal hanteer en Irongwa Achibudi sy tweede 3 in die wedstryd. Suksesvol verdoel deur Kyle Wenzel. Dit dan die wen 3 gewees vir FNB Kudus. Hulle wen hierdie wedstryd met 33 teenoor 27, 'n bonuspunt sege vir Kudus. Hulle konsolideer hulle tweede posisie agter FNB Wanderers wat 'n afnaweek gehad het. En so ek dink dan op die oomblik geen verandering aan die top 4 nie. Wanderers eerste, Kudus tweede, United derde en Grootfontein in die 4de posisie in hierdie stadium van die geveg in die NRI Premier Liga.
FNB Kudus se eerste span. So Andre, 'n tawwe wedstryd. Ek dink die spectators is baie excited en baie happy met die feit dat julle gewen het. Maar vertel my 'n bietjie, hoe was die game vir julle? I mean, eerste helfte getrail, bietjie swaar getrek, maar in die tweede helfte toe sien ons julle kom terug. Wedstryd mooi gewen. Hoe trots is jy op jou boys?
Ja nee, kyk, vandag was 'n warm dag op die kantoor gewees en 'n paar dinge in die begin nie ons kant toe gegaan nie. Ons het 'n tydjie gevat om in die ritme te kom en ek moet vir die ouens gee baie courage en wil ek sê Kaunas om hierdie ding deur te trek op die einde toe. Ek trots op elke ou wat gebly fight het tot die einde toe. Ek meen almal van ons was op 'n punt waar ons kon opgee, so ja, well done in Grootfontein vir 'n baie groot competitive match. Hulle het gekom vir ons vandag, maar ons het vasgebyt en ek is trots op elke liewe ou saam met wie ek vandag gespeel het.
Definitief vasgebyt. Die boys het letterlik vis kom vang hier in Grootfontein. Ons het 'n grappie gehad, maar vertel my bietjie. Waar voel jy het goed te begin klik vir julle en waar voel jy het goed te begin nou in 'n rhythm en kom en wat julle nou kan sê, okay, kom ons speel die kusse rugby wat ons ken.
Kyk, almal weet dat ons backline is aan die brand en ons forwards het vandag die game lekker opgeset van die begin af vir ons speedsters om aan die buitekante te doen wat hulle moet. So hier na die tweede helfte toe ons begin die bal regterkant of linkerkant op die regte tye uitkry vir die vinnige ouetjies het ons vir hulle gewys wat Kudus kan doen, hè.
Okay. En voor ek laat gaan, laaste vraagie. Confidence wise, wat beteken dit vir die boys heading into ons is dan by die knockout stages?
Kyk, hierdie was baie belangrik vir ons. Ons weet Grootfontein is altyd verskriklik moeilik by die huis. So vir ons vorentoe na die verloor wat ons teen United away gehad het, is hierdie 'n groot conference booster. Ons het dit nodig gehad en 5 puntjies in die sakkie. Ons vaar vorentoe.
Gelukkig, Sandre.
Baie dankie.
Cool. Daar hoor julle van die manne af Grootfontein, ongelukkig. Ons kon nie deurdruk nie. Almal ken ek is 'n Grootfontein supporter. Maar ja, goeie wedstryd. Kudus het die game sterk gewen en 'n goeie wen vir hulle. Ons is amper aan die einde van die groepe se stage. So ons wag, ons sien vooruit vir hoe die games gaan aanvoel, maar bly ingeskakel. Ons is nou terug by julle.
That was Brian Munango reporting live from Grootfontein, where there was an important rugby Premier League match, of course. Now, speaking of Premier League matches, Buccaneers are growing back in strength to strength. They played to a 2-2 stalemate against Commerce Nampol FC at the Unam Stadium today. That was one of the matches that took place in the Debmarine Namibia Premiership. Remember, Buccaneers appointing coach Ronnie Cananello, while the Commerce Nampol team is led by policeman coach Fortune Ahab. This means that Commerce Nampol FC slightly just goes on top just for the time being of the Premiership, while Buccaneers are slowly coming out of the danger zone there where they have been stuck at before the departure of coach Woody Jacobs in that one. So it is definitely going to be an interesting season. There are more Premiership matches that are currently taking place there, with Unam FC was already on the lead with a 3-0 lead against Young Brazilians. So it is indeed one of those weekends where the teams are looking for top results in order to get out of the drop zone there. Speaking of experts and somebody that knows it all in the Formula One industry, we cross over, that is to Irina Marie van der Walt, who gives us her expert analysis on the Formula One.
I believe congratulations are in order, not just for Kimi Antonelli for becoming the youngest pole sitter in Formula One history, thereby breaking a more than a decade-old record set by Sebastian Vettel, but also for Max Verstappen on officially becoming the girl dad we always knew he could be. Max Verstappen and his girlfriend Kelly Piquet welcomed their daughter Lily into the world just shortly before the weekend. Obviously a very exciting time for them. It is kind of accepted that Max Verstappen has stepped into a fatherly role for Kelly Piquet's daughter from a previous relationship, Penelope. She has this daughter with former Formula One driver Daniel Kvyat, and if you recognize her surname, it's not without good reason. She is the daughter of Formula One legend Nelson Piquet. So very exciting times for them. And I would the writer in me, the romantic in me, would want Max Verstappen to win the Grand Prix this weekend, just to show his little girl what her dad can do, you know? Question is, can her dad still do it? When you think of Fernando Alonso's, very famous quote, saying that, he knew Michael Schumacher was going to break before him because he has a wife and kids at home. I do become a bit worried, or I was at least, until Max came back to track. Yes, he's back at track. Until Max came back to track and started complaining about the RB, the Red Bull. Then I wasn't worried anymore. He's complaining about the Red Bull in the slow speed corners, saying that they're losing grip in those corners and thus time in those corners. So his prospects are very far from my very romantic dreams about him winning the Grand Prix. Although my other candidates are pretty solid, I will say. Imagine if Kimi Antonelli won this one. Or imagine if he just won a sprint. That would already be spectacular. I think we've not given Kimi Antonelli his flowers because we see him just barely keeping pace with very experienced drivers. But the truth is, Kimi Antonelli has outperformed the rookies all season, no question. He's a generational talent. Kimi Antonelli has not lost a single championship he's entered for prior to, being courted by Mercedes and all of that. So this is where Toto Wolff goes, see, I told you so. I told you signing a 17-year-old kid wasn't insane. I told you I had method to my madness. This is where we really see what Kimi Antonelli has to offer. And it's a good glimpse into the potential that he could have in Formula One. We always knew he had this massive potential, but this is the first time that he's really saying, hey, you're not crazy. I do have this massive potential. And then more than that, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris on qualifying second and third in the sprint race. Obviously, I don't have much to say there. That's kind of the toss-up is between those two for the championship. So whoever can get ahead between the two of them in turn one is the championship favorite, because this is where championship points are scored. I know Lando Norris said he was going to chill for the first half of the season, but I hate to break it to you, Lando Norris, this is where you score your points. This is where you lay the foundation to win the championship later in the year. So maybe get on that. So it would be great, not just because I have a bet with Network Media Hub's managing editor that Lando Norris is going to win the championship, but basically if Lando Norris wants to win this championship, he's going to start doing it now. So especially at Miami, this was his first win. This was, after that long 4-year drought, after that absolute heartbreak in Sochi 2021, this is where Lando Norris says, hey, it wasn't a fluke. Because if you remember what happened last year, in Miami, it was a safety car, and a lot of people were speculating that a safety car had handed this win to Lando Norris. Now, yes, he's since proven that to be wrong by becoming a multiple race winner, but this is where he really cements that it was not a fluke, it was not a mistake, it was not an accident, it was not a warp in the timing of the universe, it was not by mistake. It was for real. It was Lando Norris. So that's what I would expect to see from him this weekend. But if he doesn't win, I still kind of want Max Verstappen to win this one for his daughter.
Thank you so much, Irene, for your expert analysis there. Baby's on the way at the Formula One, it seems. Well, we have games on the way, but today there were games as well in the Premiership. There you can see Man City, they played yesterday, beating Wolves 1-0. Aston Villa beating Fulham 1-0. Leicester City 2-0 against Southampton, while Everton and Ipswich Town played to a 2-2 stalemate today. There are games tomorrow that are taking place in the English Premier League as it continues and reaches towards its end. We have Brighton facing Newcastle FC. That is tomorrow at 3 p.m. Brentford playing Man United, a rejuvenated Manchester United that is coming out of a Europa League success with a 3-0 victory away from home, just a foot away in the final of the Europa League. There we have that West Ham against Tottenham Hotspurs, also playing tomorrow at 3 p.m. One of the matches that is a London derby made in London. Speaking of big matches, and it's always a Sunday clash that will involve Chelsea against Liverpool FC. It has always been an important fixture on the calendar of the Premiership, although at the moment it doesn't play much significance to Chelsea FC as much as it plays to the Liverpool team. That match will be tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. And then on Monday we have, that is a Monday night clash, that is Crystal Palace facing Nottingham Forest. In that one there, indeed going to be a very important encounter. So that is what we have in the Premier League for you there. As we speak, definitely Manchester United fans will be hoping that their team can just come up a bit. But as for Liverpool fans, their tails held up high there. And Arsenal fans definitely also having a chance in the UEFA Champions League, where they, although they lost to Lyon with a solitary goal, they still have a chance to overturn that score when they play at the Emirates this week in an important clash of the semi-finals. As for Manchester United, they beat, that is the Spanish team 3-0, and they are looking forward to playing in the final of the Europa League. Pardon me, there I'm getting too excited. Of course, many might know why. They are looking forward to playing in that one. Definitely a match that they need to win in order to cement their place in the Champions League final, in the Europa League final, I might say. Well, that brings us to the end of today's show. From me, Jesse Jackson Kauraifa, it has been a privilege hosting you guys.